We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Tyson Fury Glovegate 2.0, the expose. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We work. Now I'm going to save the intro because this is a special expose video. I want to give some of my thoughts and definitely questions. As far as the Tyson Fury Glovegate 2.0, you know, we started the wave and got people talking. And I want to make this video, as I told you guys I was going to make, because I have a lot of questions. And in this, hopefully, I could shed light on my perspective. Now, the only thing I ask for the boxing fans, if you're a true boxing fan, you should want a fair sport. If you're a true boxing fan, you should want a clean sport. You should want fairness across the board. Recently, we've seen Gerald Big Baby Miller, a heavyweight, fail a drug test. And during that process, we've seen a lot of people who had opinions on what his punishment should be. A lot of people weighed in. However, around the same time, Glovegate 2.0 came. A lot of questions are posed. Tyson Fury, which I'll get into, he did do a response video, but he hasn't really answered anybody's questions as far as the allegations. Marcellus Wilder, brother Wilder, he said his brother sustained injuries that a doctor confirmed and didn't feel was indicative of a typical punch from a fisted hand wrap glove. You know, so just keep an open mind when you're watching the video. Smash the like button, share the video, and keep that same energy. If you wanted Gerald Miller, lifetime bans, and different stuff, then you should want this to be investigated, because I'm going to go deep and I'm going to talk about some different subjects that I've seen with this Tyson Fury, and we'll just say it's looking real suspicious. So grab your popcorn and enjoy. Now, I guess I'll start off right now with Tyson Fury, his explanation of responding to Glovegate 2.0.
This is just a quick video to address all this foul play talk from Deontay Wilder and his team.
And it's not Deontay Wilder's team I'm talking about,
this is just a quick video to address all this foul play talk from Deontay Wilder and his team. I just read an article before saying that I might have had some blunt objects in my gloves. Yeah, two big 19 stone 275 pound destroyers in each glove. So yeah, getting punched up the temple may do that to you, but you know, not unless Deontay Wilder's own trainer JD was in on a conspiracy as well, along with all the Las Vegas State Commission guys who never left the room. JD was in the room while I had my hands wrapped. He examined them. He was in there when I had my gloves put on, examined them. Yeah, and everybody else was in the room. They don't leave you. We all know this. So everybody citing foul play, bullshit. And the next time, I'll put a dent in his boxing career, end it, because it'll be 2 knockout losses in a row. Bye-bye forever.
So that's Tyson Fury explaining his side. And in actuality, he hasn't explained anything. The other thing, if you look at Marcellus Wilder's post, which I covered, there's a video, you know, we're doing mad views on the video, so a lot of you already checked it out. But he says that people were working with the ops. Like some of Wilder's team was working with the ops. So I don't know who that is. So he says, unless, you know, team members are involved and stuff, then it's a BS story. But Wilder brother basically said that there were snakes. I don't know who that person is, but they feel somebody infiltrated and worked with Tyson Fury's side in some capacity, like snakes in the camp, right? So that dismisses that. Beyond that, Tyson Fury, with what he just said, he hasn't really elaborated on anything. He hasn't explained away the glove. He just said merely, I didn't do it, you know, my knuckles did it, you know, this is BS. So he hasn't really answered, as far as I'm concerned, any of the points, you know, any of the points. So we'll keep going. Now let's start it off The fight took place in Nevada, Las Vegas. We'll do this like a court case. Young Matlock, I'm on the case. Perry Mason. State of Nevada, championship and special event fight glove procedure. Nevada state, where the fight took place. The second fight took place in Las Vegas, right? NAC 467.427, section 7. We'll skip. Look, it says number 3. Any, quote, custom glove must be approved by Nevada State Athletic Commission in advance. A custom glove includes the addition to gloves made for a specific fighter, any changes in materials or padding made to any previously approved glove. So I'm assuming they got the custom gloves, the Gypsy King imprint approved. But let's skip down to section 14 of the Nevada State official rules of glove, right? You guys will see it says section 14. Under no circumstance will anyone from the fighter's camp massage, manipulate, or work the gloves to soften up the padding, or any portion of that glove. Right? Let me repeat. Section 14. Under no circumstance will anyone from the fighter's camp, so that would include the fighter as well, massage, manipulate, or work the gloves to soften up the padding, or any portion of the glove. Meaning you cannot break the gloves in. You cannot skin the gloves. You cannot tamper with the gloves. You cannot massage the padding. You can't try to break up and loosen the padding. Now, when I'm looking at Tyson Fury's gloves, a lot of the pictures are out. People making videos. It's great. We created a wildfire that needs to be put out. And the only way to put it out is to come and rebuke this truth. What we all see. Tyson Fury's glove appears, a Paffen sport glove, which we'll talk about, appears to have a dent in the center of the glove. It looks beveled inward, whereas concave. I don't know how this is even doable if the glove is properly padded, 10 ounce. You know, I've seen people say stuff like, oh, he got that, it dented in from punching Wilder's face in. Some people said it's the lighting. But if it was the lighting, this would not, and I prepared pictures. If it's the lighting, then it's not going to be apparent in all lighting. Like I seen someone sent me a picture of Archer Spilka, and you could clearly see there was nothing wrong with it. Was Spilka when he fought Wilder. You could clearly see in that picture, Spilka, he had a glove and the light from above was reflecting, but in no way, shape, or form. You could see he had gold gloves on, and you could see the reflection of a light. And, you know, maybe it created shading or a different shadow, but there's no way it's outward. It's a spherical cone, like a coned, rounded shape. The light reflecting, you can still tell that there's no dent in the glove. So we're going to talk about it, and I got some stuff prepared, and, you know, let's open the conversation and talk about it. So you guys seen it. Nevada State rules, per their own boxing rules, under no circumstance will anyone in the fighter's camp massage, manipulate, or work the gloves to soften up the padding. So you can't tamper with the padding. The gloves are weighed. It has to be the certain weight. Custom gloves got to get approved. Cool. They go in a special bag. That's what some of these other rules are referring to. Now, Tyson Fury used the brand Paffen. There is a video, and I will link, you know, for this is fair usage. I will link and source out and give attribution to the original video where there's a person and they're giving a demonstration of the quality of Paffen sport gloves, right? And I'm going to play a little bit of clips for you guys to see.
Got some pro-Mexican contest gloves by Paffen Sport. Have been used in fights by Vladimir Klitschko, also Tyson Fury.
Okay, so let's start right there. So, you know what? Let me run this back, but I didn't have it on landscape. Let's run this back, bro. Let's run this back. So we're going to compare the gloves, Paffen sport.
Contest gloves.
So these are the Mexican contest gloves. You guys heard that, right?
Mexican contest gloves by Paffen Sport. Have been used in fights by Vladimir Klitschko, also Tyson Fury. Just show you the profile of
Look.
the knuckle area there.
Okay.
See, open up.
So these are Paffen Sport custom. So a lot of people, I've seen people saying, oh, it's because it's horsehair gloves. So that's why they break down in the center. But he's demoing a pair of 10 ounce. And he says in the video that it's 10 ounce gloves from the same brand, right? And these look pristine. And I'm going to give it some different looks because I don't know if the focus is, 100%. And the whole center of the glove, even with the reflection of his studio lighting, it looks regular. Then you look at Tyson Fury's gloves, right? And they look like this. A clear difference. So how is it somebody is showing the same brand of gloves, right? And I'm supposed to believe that these are not broken in, not skinned, and haven't been tampered with, but you see a stark difference between the padding in a full, like these are full body gloves. Look at this. This is a full body pair of gloves. And actually, I could pull it up right here so you guys get it, just so we have it clear. Right?
Got some pro Mexican contest.
So these are gloves. Look. So look at the top of those gloves. They don't dent, they don't bevel, nothing. That's Fury's glove. You see how it's pushed in almost like a fist pushed it in. It's concaved, right? Look, there's another one where you can see imprints and almost like a knuckle mark, like it's a latex glove or something, right?
So Tyson Fury.
Look. Right there. So that's the head-on view. Looks nothing like Tyson Fury's glove, right? So, looks nothing like his glove. That's a close-up. Looks nothing like it. Look at the difference, bro. That's a close-up.
Profile of the knuckle area there.
And that's Fury's glove, bro, during the Wilder fight. Why is there a picture that even exists that looks like that of Fury's glove? Let's keep going. Okay. These look like full, non-worn, brand new gloves. Now keep in mind, Section 14 of the Nevada State rules. These look like a stiff pair of gloves. Right? He's showing the durability of the glove.
Good position.
But look at Fury's glove. It looks like, I don't know, like a panini press or something.
The knuckle area.
See how it's retaining its form? Do you guys see that? This demo of the same ounce glove, 10 ounce pro horsehair Mexican competition gloves look surprisingly different. Look, he's testing the durability. Look, it's retaining its shape. That's Fury's glove.
Nice and firm.
You fucked up, yeah, that touch. I see what I'm saying. No, I thought. That's what I'm saying. You fucked up now. You know that now.
Yeah, let's get it. Why is Tyson Fury's glove concaved? There's a close-up. You see how it looks almost like a John Travolta butt chin. It's depressed in. Yeah. Smash the like button. Oh, somebody got an answer. But these gloves right here, same brand, Paffen Sport. They're retaining their shape.
As you can see.
They look pretty durable to me. And we'll get to that in a second. So as you guys can see, you're not allowed to manipulate the gloves. And Tyson Fury's glove, he hasn't, in this video, hasn't really explained it away. He really hasn't explained it away. Now, let's keep going. Paffen Sport. If Tyson Fury's gloves are looking how they look, how are these gloves approved for competition? And why is it just Tyson Fury? Why is it just Tyson Fury's gloves that are imploding in the middle, right? I've put together some pictures for you guys to see of Tyson Fury's glove, how it looks almost like as if a car that got T-boned and dent. It's concaved, dented inward. How did this happen if Section 14 of the Nevada State Glove Procedure and Rules says you can't manipulate your gloves? Let me take you down memory lane and show you how it happened. Let's get it. So, what I noticed throughout the fight, going frame by frame, doing real detective work, forensic files, young Matlock, is Tyson Fury, it is my belief, this is just my belief, you know, that the gloves have been tampered with and skinned, things of that sort. If you watch throughout the fight, this is just my opinion. If you watch throughout the fight, Tyson Fury is constantly depressing the gloves together, which you, again, I could revert you back to Nevada State rules, right? Section 14. It says, under no circumstance will anyone from the fighter's camp massage, manipulate, or work the gloves to soften up the padding. So to me, it appears that his gloves, the padding is already softened to begin with. And throughout the fight, you'll see screenshots and screen caps from different stanzas of the fight where he's pushing his gloves into his ribs, pushing his gloves together like this. Like, you ever know someone who's like popping their knuckles and they do stuff like that, which is, in my view, I would say you're kind of manipulating the padding. So if you already started off with gloves that have been broken in, which is illegal in the sport of boxing, and then you're constantly pushing it up, we don't even know what's going on in the ring in between the rounds. Like, he could sit down and then depress his thigh, which will just look like he's sitting down, and push that back and constantly manipulate the gloves. So they also have in the ring things like inswell. This is inswell. It's a flat metal object. Somebody could be walking by giving instructions and then, doing anything. I don't know. That's my whole point. That's my whole thing. But what we do know that we can actually see, as I provided in these screen caps, is that Tyson Fury is constantly fidgeting. He failed the drug test with the coke, and this is like almost crackish behavior. Like would you trust somebody if they came up to you in an alley, say, hey man, my wife, I left her in the car on the freeway, I need $5, we ran out of gas, and they're moving around and stuff. This is Fury throughout the fight. And what appears to be innocent feints and stuff, I think there's deeper implications. He's pressing his glove into his rib, and you notice he's doing it during certain lulls, like the referee broke Wilder and Fury up, broke them, like split them apart or whatever, and is giving instructions, and he's fidgeting with his gloves, and you'll see from these pictures, see, pushing his gloves into his ribs. Look, the ref is giving him instructions. This is Tyson Fury. So let's take a look at this. These are separate screen caps, like, different seconds and stuff, so you guys can see the motion, because I can't for copyright reasons. Look, pushing the gloves together, and we're wondering why there's a dent in the center of the glove, which probably doesn't have sufficient padding because it's already broken in. Why do Tyson Fury's gloves appear to look like they're gym gloves that have been hanging around and in the gym for 6 to 8 months, and you used on the heavy bag and stuff, and they're broken in, if these are a brand new pair of custom gloves? And why is he constantly on hard surfaces depressing his glove inward, and now is starting to retain that indented shape and conforming, plus punching Wilder? He did land punches, so He's also punching Wilder, which could also create these shapes. Look, these are some of them are more pronounced. I try to get the split second. Like he's playing with his glove right now, and Kenny Bayless is sending Wilder to the corner or whatever he's doing, and he's constantly knuckling up the glove. And actually, this is a good, hold on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get hyped. If you look right here, him doing that, this is coincidentally the part that's beveled inward, right? And now his glove takes a whole new shape, like his glove throughout the fight. And I think that's what's causing confusion. People are showing different pictures and his glove almost looks like the top is flat. And then throughout the fight, it looks like it's beveled in and going inward and dented in, and it's almost taking a different shape. Your glove is not Play-Doh. A properly padded glove, which we'll get into, and we'll use Paffen Sport, a properly padded glove is meant to actually protect your hands. It's meant to prevent your hands from breaking your hand, things like that. And it is of my belief that this constant manipulation, which is against Nevada state rules, is why his glove is constantly doing that. But even deeper than that, how do you perform? How would your glove start doing like Mystique from X-Men and taking on these different shapes just from simple gestures of hitting it against something hard if it's properly padded? So does Paffen Sport have a deformed glove? Because if Tyson Fury is innocent and none of this is true, how is Paffen Sport allowed in a fit for a competition brand when the glove padding within 3-4 rounds, the glove starts to take a whole different form and look battered in as if it's a glove that's been in use at a local boxing gym, hand-me-down, at a POW program gym. Let's keep looking. So you'll notice Fury's always doing this and pushing on his thighs, and just watch the movement. Today I got time, cuz. Constant movement, like most I feel like when a referee's giving warnings and point deductions and stuff, a lot of guys they're catching a breather. They have their hands at their sides, stuff, just typical stuff. But Fury's still fidgeting during breaks. You got to pay attention to the things that I guess maybe look subtle. Now look at that. Now you guys could see after like all this movement with his hands, you start to see the glove starts to bevel in like a canyon, almost like erosion, like it's eroding, and it's more pronounced in certain angles and stuff like that. So look right there, and I'm gonna try to bring y'all in close to this and zoom in, and it's primarily on the lead hand. Your glove is not supposed to take on new forms. Look, you can see the shading from the form of the glove. Let's keep going. Now this one's good. You could see, just look at that picture. Look at that picture and tell me that his glove looks regular, or if it looks like it's dented in, almost as if you had like a horseshoe or a metal object and you pushed it into and made a mold. Your glove is not supposed to be molded. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Let's keep going. That looks OD to me. And you'll see, like, the glove just looks broken in. It's crazy. Look. And with constant, pushing against his head, hard objects. Look, pushing against his hand. And this is the name of the game throughout the fight. What picture are we on? And we're wondering why his glove is constantly, look, right there, pushing his hand. And I try to get it within the minute, constantly pushing his knuckles together. And then as the fight progresses, you start seeing the different shape of the glove, which I think is what looks crazy to people. You see how look right there, how it looks so wrinkled. You see right in there? His glove looks so wrinkled and dented in, and I mean, look. These are all just random pictures throughout the fight. So when I first released the Glovegate pictures, they said I Photoshop. How do I Photoshop? This is a video. This is the telecast. You can see it. You know, look at it. You mean to tell me that looks like if you bought 2 pairs of Jordans and you paid $200 for them and one shoe looked depressed in, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the left foot that looks mint condition and in that fight. So once again, how is Tyson Fury's glove constantly look pushed inward, concaved, like it's collapsed? Look at these pictures. Somebody needs to explain that. Per Nevada state rules, explain how his glove on his lead hand looks so dented in and collapsed. And it almost, as the fight progressed, after hitting it on hard objects and putting your knuckles together and stuff like that, like you're molding, you already have a glove with the broken up padding, right? And then now you see it throughout the fight progressively break down worse. Okay. In addition, I know there are going to be people who say, look at this video and say, oh, that's just the nature of Paffen sports gloves. It's horsehair, Mexican horsehair. I just showed you the video of the fresh pair of Paffen gloves, and they look like, for all intents and purposes, brand new gloves, right? A simple Google search, you can, if that is the case, here's an easy way to say it. If that is the case and gloves are just meant to, they just break up in the fight, then show me the picture of other people in the heavyweight division and look at, like, Luis Ortiz. His gloves look like actual pillows. You know, they look like the shape of a typical brand new glove out the box. This is a multi-million-dollar fight between Wilder and Fury, and Luis Ortiz fought on the Wilder Fury undercard against Travis Kaufman. And guess what? Why do his gloves look brand new? Look, there's just various pictures. I know it's a different brand, but it's the same concept, right? Why do Luis Ortiz's gloves look brand new? It look like nothing's wrong with his gloves. Look. They look like a fresh out the box, and Travis Kaufman, shout out to them. Fresh out the box pair of gloves. Nothing. You know, I don't feel no type of way about his gloves. So if this is the case and then everybody's glove is supposed to look like that, then where are the other heavyweights that look like that? Now, I know, again, you're going to have more detractors who say, oh, that's not fair. Those are Everlast. And even though you can't find one picture of Wilder, Anthony Joshua, where their gloves in repeated shots look manipulated, like the padding has been thinned and skinned out, right? Despite that fact, you will have some people that doubt. So I prepared this. They're going to say, oh, it's because it's a different brand glove. You can't ego. Don't do that. You can't compare Everlast. Every brand is different. So I prepared this. Now, I've literally searched through thousands of photos. Both of these fighters are wearing Paffen gloves. And I need you guys to tell me, how is it just Fury? Right? How is it just Fury? All these guys are fighting. Look, David Hayes fighting his opponent. Paffen gloves. Paffen gloves. And look how rounded everybody else's gloves looks. Usyk's fighting his opponent. Paffen gloves. Look how they look like a brand new set of gloves. There's no dents in the middle. So we're just going to keep letting the slide run and let the money come in and the numbers go up. So Arthur Abram, Paffen Sport. Look at his gloves, people. What is wrong with anybody else's gloves that's using the same brand? So you mean to tell me that Tyson Fury hits so hard, he's able to do what Arthur Abram, a noted puncher, especially back then, is unable to do, right? And there's other notable punchers you will see in this slide. So please explain how Tyson Fury, who wasn't considered a walk you down dangerous puncher, he's able to change the mold and the physical shape of these Paffen Sport gloves, and they're full of padding. Everybody else's glove, Paffen Sport gloves, in these slides, and I went through thousands of pictures. Me and my man, shout out to him. They look like regular gloves and they're rounded. Look, Usyk with the Paffens. So you tell me what it is. Everybody, and some are media days, so maybe they're 14 ounces. But look, that's Fury fighting Klitschko with the same brand of gloves that he allegedly didn't like. And they don't look like that. There's Joshua and Klitschko in the Paffens, and they look like pillows. They look like globes. They look spherical. They look rounded. There's Klitschko at a media day, and they look like perfect gloves. Like, do you see any dents in his glove, people? Thousands of photos I've went through for boxing. Do you see any indentation, imprints? And he's punching heavy bags, punching mitts, and some of the shots are in competition, punching a human. So why is Wilder's skull and the depression and indents and things like that? This is Fury at a media day. When he's not fighting Wilder, you know, he's had other glove issues for sure, like Glovegate 1 and the Christian Hammer fight. But look at his gloves. They look like what you would typically see. So somebody got to answer. And Fury's 1 minute video doesn't explain this away. These are thousands of pictures of gloves. Paffen Sport. I showed you Luis Ortiz. I'm letting this run. Look, there's a female. So nobody in this world has the almighty power of Tyson Fury. And you can't say, oh, it's because he's big. He's 6'9". Because as you see as this slide progresses, there's people who are bigger punchers than Fury per capita. And their gloves are all holding up. So you guys tell me what it is. I've showed you female fights. I've showed you multiple divisions. I've showed you other brands. I've showed you bigger punchers, bigger per capita punchers. But Tyson Fury's gloves seem to be the only one that break up in the middle. How can you explain this away? In a multi-million-dollar fight. So Klitschko, who you see right there, he don't hit harder than Tyson Fury. And his gloves look perfectly fine. He's 6'6". He would be considered what I would consider a super heavy. And his gloves look perfect. I would never make a video and say, hey, these look like old gloves. And the worst part about it, I guess, when you got the complexion for the protection like Tyson Fury, despite everything else, people want to give you every benefit of the doubt. Despite Tyson Fury's affiliations, we'll leave it at that. Despite Tyson Fury failing 2 drug tests, despite Tyson Fury being accused of tampering with gloves from Glovegate 1, despite Tyson Fury being accused of manipulating and tampering with the gloves from a former sparring partner who had no problem working with him for several fights, big fights. Wilder won, big fights. And I'm just going to let the Paffen play in the back. Fights like the Klitschko fight. And he came out and did the video. Shout out to Nick Asbury and said, hey, I found fish weights, egg weights in the glove. The glove pattern had been removed. That was just last year this come out. And then you see Fury with his now preferred brand of gloves. And all these Paffen Sport pictures, everybody's glove, media days for Fury, the gloves look regular. But in the biggest fight of your life, coming off a draw from the behemoth puncher known as Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder that slept you in the 12th round, and it really should have been over from that point. You know, who counts when a person's eyes are rolling in the back of their head and they're unconscious? You mean to tell me it's just, let's dismiss all of Fury's past, the nandrolone, the cocaine fail, and all these people who have the same brand of gloves, the guy doing the tutorial, and everybody's gloves who look perfect, in a variety of different sizes. Some of these media day pictures are like I said, it's probably, I know boxing. So some of the media days, since it's not in competition, they might be using 14s or something. But these are in competition fights as well. These aren't just a bunch. I'm just giving you all of what you need. We did all the research for y'all. The case is right here. So tell me how Tyson Fury, his gloves, and look, there's little reflections and stuff. You could see, you could tell. They want you to believe your eyes are playing tricks on you. They want you to believe that. I could tell the difference between light, but I'm a photographer. Oh, there we go. Now we got some action. I'm a photographer and a videographer. I could tell the difference between light bouncing off a subject, right? And somebody's glove. Like you could see a little bit of light shining off of, from a hot flash from a photo or whatever, versus a glove having shading and shadow shadowy area because it's beveled in. It's going inward. So Gennady Golovkin, hey, no guys, hey Max. Gennady Golovkin, monstrous puncher. We know that. He's a big puncher. There's never anyone that I know that have said that Golovkin can't hit, right? Monstrous puncher. This is him after his fight. Gloves look perfect. It's like, how does everyone have gloves that look brand spanking new, but Fury, who's been called out for this type of glove foolery, his gloves don't look good. And we know Klitschko is a bigger puncher. I would say Golovkin per capita is a bigger puncher. His cousin Andy Lee is wearing the same sport. How is Fury glove, he's able to squeeze it so hard that it looks like almost a latex glove. Boom, now we got some action. These are Fury's gloves. And it looks like you could see identifying marks. It looks like the John Travolta butt shit. It looks like a butt, it's depressed inward. You could see it. It looks smushed down. Throughout the fight, it's manipulating its form. Like some shots look way worse, maybe from doing stuff like this with not having the proper padding. Look at these photos. Smash the like button. And they want you to believe that, his glove just looks like Tom Brady deflated NFL balls, deflated pigskin. And what you see is not what you really see. So you can't say I'm photoshopping when we're looking at it. His glove, how is his glove going the opposite way? His glove is going inward, where it appears everyone else has the rounded. Look at it. Look at this picture, people. What is that? Why does it look like there's so many identifying marks and it looks so skimpy in the padded area? And everyone, his gloves, the padding or the glove, the shape of the glove, the form loses its form. Your gloves aren't meant to be manipulated and molded. Again, this is not Play-Doh. Like if somebody at a pizzeria had some pizza dough and they had it on the counter and they're letting it set and get room temperature or whatever to make the pizza, and you walk up and put your finger in it like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Nothing says loving like my grand's biscuits. Something that's doughy like that, I can understand, is you're going to have your finger impression, but these are supposed to be high level, multi-million-dollar fight ready contest gloves. And this is what his gloves are looking like. It's going the complete opposite way, like where everyone else's glove looks beveled out and it looks like a rainbow or arc or arch. His glove seems to look skimp, and as the fight progressed, almost like a U shape, like it's been grinded and molded. And you see him doing this and this and this and this and all the moves and stuff. Someone explain this to me. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Where it looks flat, his glove looks flat. And you're not allowed to skim your glove. You're not allowed to pack your glove. You're not allowed to, it says you're not allowed to massage, or anyone in your team massage your gloves. So how are Tyson Fury's gloves? The shape is constantly changing throughout the fight. That's what I need to know. Don't tell me, oh, your boy got beat and this, that, and answer the question. Why do we have so many different looks versus I showed you Arthur Abram, I showed you Golovkin, I showed you Klitschko, I showed you Fury in the media day. Nobody would question any of those gloves. So if you don't question the gloves here.
This is just a quick video to address all this.
And in this video, again, he did not explain anything. He didn't explain anything. He didn't explain these gloves away. Like why these pictures are looking crazy.
Stuff like this because and you really
look,
be going in your career.
This is Nick Asbury.
Be going in your career.
In the gym that he said he was working with Fury after, I guess, when he decided to leave the camp, and he's saying Fury's gloves were rigged, and the padding was removed. So this is separate to Wilder's thing.
Your manager should know about stuff like this because, and you really got to get your, I'm sorry to be a dick, but you got to get your manager on board with the entire thing.
And then now you see Wilder Fury 2, his gloves changing shape throughout the fight, looking depressed inward. Look at that. Look, why do I see indentations? Like this is not a cookie. This is not a pastry. Why do I see impressions and indentations where everybody else's glove look rounded and look like the proverbial pillow? Look, his stuff looks like an iron, like it's almost iron. Now, I'm gonna go deeper. That's what the streaks want. Now let's look at Wilder's injuries. Now when his glove appears to change its shape throughout the fight and be molded in such a crazy way, and you see, I've showed you, he's pressing his gloves. Who knows what's happening if team members in the corner. What they should do is put a surveillance camera on the gloves at all times for the Wilder Fury 3 fight. Put cameras in the corner so we can see everybody's every movement. If we really want to clean up this sport of boxing, so we can see and record that. And then, you know, if a year passes, for your high profile fights at least, the footage, if a year passes and, you know, you can record over the tape if nothing has come up like these things. But heads will roll, bro. Wilder's injuries, this is really severe, and the implications for this are sinister. Wilder, we've never seen him sustain injuries. I guess the closest would be Johan Duhaupas. His eye was a bit watery. The man is bleeding from his ear, and he has a big hole as if he took some type of round object and traced around it. Look at this big golf ball size plus hematoma or whatever that's called, with a bleeding ear. And this is from regular boxing injury. Usually you see gruesome injuries like this in the UFC, but rightfully so. They're using like 4-6 ounce gloves, stuff like that. We're seeing this in boxing. And this is not even from a puncher that people rated at the elite level. Yeah, he stopped some guys. His KO percentage is not bad, but who were a lot of those people that he fought? This is at the highest of level. A guy who had 10 title defenses and stuff. He didn't stop Klitschko. He never knocked Klitschko down. And I understand things can change with a fight, but imagine like a Paulie Malignaggi saying from the jump in the press conference, I'm going to walk Errol Spence down and I'm going to stop him. And then Errol Spence fights Paulie Malignaggi, and out of nowhere, his ears bleeding. He has welts on his face that look like he got like kicked or elbowed, you know, things like that. Look at the knot on the man's face, bro. And people are saying, you're reaching. Do you really care about boxing, folks? That's my question. Do you really care about a clean sport? Or is it with some people? Look at the knot on his face, bro. From a punch. And then now you look at Fury's glove looking like it's going inward. Now I can understand getting hit weird and, you know, without the proper padding, why your face would break up and look different if your glove is, you know, on some Billy Collins resto stuff. It's not looking good, bro. And this is the scene from the first Wilder fight where Fury did well boxing in spots, but Wilder, I think he started off well, and then Fury kind of got in a rhythm. But by the fight's end, you've seen shots like this, and the one that Fury is knocked out. So many people have cheated when it comes to fighting Wilder, right? We could pull it. Luis Ortiz was supposed to fight Wilder at the Barclays. They switched it to Stavern 2 because he failed a PED test, right? This is fact. There was a Polish fighter, you know, and I could pull it up just for, you know, just because new media, we on it. Deontay Wilder fighting Gerald Washington after PED fail. Just so you guys know it. Look, someone says Wilder is feared. Here. Wilder hunts for new opponent. Wawowski fails PED test. So that's 2, right? Look, another Wilder. Look, where the cheaters get a pass. Look, these are all guys that have failed drug tests. Another Wilder opponent tests positive, right? These are people who've all failed drug tests rather than before their scheduled fights. So why is it so inconceivable to even investigate that after a man did this to you, which you see on the screen, and knocked him down, that somebody would not want to lose, knowing this man is dangerous, and they would do anything to win? You know, Paris Fury, his wife, Tyson Fury's wife, also has a comment saying that if her husband lost, she thought he was dead. That's a quotable that she said. Paris Paris Fury also said something after the first Wilder fight that if he would have actually lost, he would be devastated and would spiral down into depression. This is what Tyson Fury's own wife said. Tyson Fury wife says Wilder. Let's just type some of this stuff. So just so you guys know, I'm not making it up. Tyson Fury's wife Paris talks horrible experience. Tyson Fury fears divorce from wife Paris if he fights Deontay Wilder. That's interesting. See? So what link would... Look, Tyson Fury fears divorce from his wife if he fights Deontay Wilder on Christmas Day. Oh, I don't even know what that's about, so I'm going to skip that one. Let me get to the real one. Tyson Fury's wife Paris talks, quote, horrible experience which left her scared of Wilder fight. Tyson Fury's wife admits she wanted him to quit. You see? So what lengths would... I just thought I couldn't face that again. When Tyson Fury had his comeback fight, it was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible experience. Boom, boom, boom. Right? And, you know, I don't want to get sidetracked too much, but this is what his wife said, right? Things like that. Like, oh, I was worried about him fighting. So what lengths would people go to cheat? So we looked at Paffen Sports and looked at their brand of gloves, and seemingly no one else seems to have a real issue. Wilder sustained injuries that aren't characteristic. Some guys like Gabe Rosado, they have a lot of scar tissue, so sometimes their face breaks up, stuff like that. But we haven't really known Wilder for his face looking like Emmett Till and disfigured. This is crazy, and I would like to see a better response from Team Fury, because the padding doesn't look there. And once again, how can you have a glove that's approved for Nevada State contest, Paffen Sport, if no matter what, I'm right? Because how do you have a approved contest glove that is clearly bent in the middle and there's some type of deformity? How it got there, I guess it's subjective to you, but we already know how. But you have a glove that's clearly deformed and we're watching it, right? And we're seeing Tyson Fury push his hands together like he's molding, putting it on hard surfaces, let alone whatever's happening off camera. And this is a contest ready glove? Nah, somebody got to answer this. Look, somebody got to answer this. It's over. It's over. And his glove is progressively changing shape. It don't make sense. Now, I want to leave y'all with this. Make sure y'all smash the like button. So we covered all our bases and discussed this. From weird Wilder injuries that we're not used to seeing to the mold and overall shape. Tyson Fury's glove is so pliable. Like it's Play-Doh and clay, and he could just mold it and fashion it how he wants. And he's pressing on hard start. We talked about all that. But there's a lot of people who say, oh, but the commission. Listen, why did it take for brother Nassim Richardson to catch Antonio Margarito? This wasn't the commission caught that, right? You can find cases where there was, in my neck of the woods, Fairfield, shout out to Fairfield, 707. They had a fight and the two kids were wearing different size gloves, and a spectator or opposing team member fought. They're the ones that found it out and prevented it, right? So we've seen stuff. Floyd Mayweather was the guy in Nevada who said, oh, Maidana, these gloves ain't got no padding, right? We could pull all this up. So it wasn't Nevada State Commission. So why is it inconceivable to think what Mayweather prevented with the Maidana gloves, somebody actually got away with in the same state? Look, controversy erupts after Floyd Mayweather, boom, boom, boom. Right? This is well documented stuff in boxing. Same state this happened, right? So it wasn't a commission official. So you have to understand, I don't know. I'm not, I don't know who's at play here, but you have to understand that people, for whatever reason, things get overlooked. Just because you work for someone, that doesn't make you incapable of picking up everything. There's probably people that work for the commission that don't really know boxing for real. And if they made fight predictions and bets, they'd be wrong because they might bet for the wrong things or not really know what they're talking about. So that's one thing. But I want to leave y'all with this. A lot of people said, oh, how could he have done this if the commission's watching and the referee checks the glove? You have to understand, when you're dealing with the fight as big as Wilder Fury, it was a spectacle. Tyson Fury walked out with this big ass, robe and a throne and a hat. And Wilder had like a prolonged 6-minute, a rapper was rapping him on the way out with the kind of the black energy, the black excellence energy, right? So this is more so a spectacle. It's like a show. Fury's on a throne. So who's supposed to be checking his gloves at this moment, right? Wilder's walking out and there's a big elaborate costume, which allegedly Wilder complained about after the fact, said it was heavy, whatever, right? But Tyson Fury, I want to leave y'all with this. Nobody has talked about this point. Nobody's talked about this point. People say, oh, how to get past the commission and stuff. Upon my research, this is young Matlock. Nobody's talked about this. I was reviewing tape and I noticed something that was a bit weird. It was a bit weird. They're saying, like, I heard what old media was saying. I heard they were saying, oh, how does get past the commission? And I just told you, like, this is a big theatrics. There's a lot of theatrics or whatever. But I noticed something that was real weird. Upon my research in this whole matter about his gloves, the padding and all that, I noticed something that it just doesn't sit well with me. If you look at these pictures, you will see that upon his entry to the ring, Tyson Fury, in his fight with Wilder 2, he walked out in a robe. They're like, oh, how didn't you catch it? The man walked out in a robe, and the robe, when it comes to the arm sleeves, was longer than his gloves. And I know some of y'all are thinking, like, my point is this. We don't know. This is supposed to be the gypsy master. And if you know the history of gypsies, like historically, this is not like me segregating, historically, even the term to gyp someone, right? Look that up. This is like travelers and stuff, and people would perform little tricks, and like I'm not saying everyone today has it, but it had like little elements of some people historically were calling themselves gypsies, and then they were town con artists, and then they would, come with a false identity and stuff, and then skip out, take people's possessions and skip out, stuff like that. But watch this clip. Tyson Fury walks out and his glove is concealed on the walkout by his robe. And I just think it's the weirdest thing. Why would you make okay, nothing's being done or nothing was done. Like, there was Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction. Marcellus Wilder said that he felt a blunt object. The doctor confirmed a blunt object in his investigation caused it. This man walked out, and nobody's talking about this, in a robe that the arms are oversized, where we don't know what's in the robe. We don't know what you're doing. We can't see nothing. Just look. His glove is totally concealed with the robe sleeve. And I feel like that's such a weird design. That's such a weird design. When would you ever want your robe, in what time, to be longer than your gloves? Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like it's such a weird design that somebody would say, look, he looks like Slender Man or something. The sleeve of his arm and the way the robe is constructed is longer than his glove. Like, so in this shot right that you're seeing on the screen, when his whole theatrical walkout, this whole Emperor King thing or whatever he's doing, you can't even see his glove, bro. You can't see. So if someone's saying he has a blunt object, we don't know what. Like, let's say we're in the prison yard and somebody has a shank. The object is not to get caught by the cops. You want to shank the person. So you pass shanks off and stuff like, or even a drug deal. Let's say two people in the inner city or whatever where they slang drugs. You walk up to someone and you know what time it is. You say, hey, what's up, man? Dab, dab. And what you've done is actually committed a transaction. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to flagrantly give them the drugs. You know, someone could be watching. So you do it like you dab, boom, 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 boom. So I just think that's mighty weird. And it's such a weird design that I haven't seen. Why you would make your robe longer than your actual glove, so your glove is not even exposed during this whole time. Just look at this. Just look at this. Tell me if you've seen that. Tell me from a design perspective, does that seem like the design you would go with? So to me, Tyson Fury has far too many coincidences to be a coincidence. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Look, all this whole time, we don't know what. Like, you doing a sleight of hand trick? We don't know. So all the people who came up to me and said, oh, the commission would have caught it. Where's the commission? He walking off of the throne. He got carried out. We can't even see his glove. We don't know what the robe is. We don't know if there's trap doors, but we don't know nothing. We know you created a costume, which is, again, weird design, where your arm sleeves are longer than your whole glove. We don't know what's going on. You know, we don't know if there's like a fish, you know, he was accused of having some kind of weight. So we don't know if you're able to do, because I know people that can get out of cuffs and little sleight of hand tricks and stuff. We just simply don't know. So I hope the Nevada State Athletic Commission really analyzes these elaborate walk-ins, because when you're having these elaborate walk-ins, we don't know what's going on. You know, a whole robe kind of concealing what's going on. Your arm sleeves are longer than your gloves. We don't know what's going on. And then now you're being sequestered and questioned about your gloves being wrong. To me, you can call it circumstantial, but it's not a good look. Bro, the man's costume is longer. Like another person, and I'll show you in a second, another person that wears a robe before his fights is Anthony Joshua. Also a British fighter. Look, you see, like he really wore a robe. And then the other thing is this. If you watch the fight, he doesn't dap. The referee says, dap up. That's his brother. Says dap up, like punch the gloves. He goes like this. So I'm not really sure what you're doing. Not sure what you're doing, sir. Look, gloves constantly touching. You see? Build the mold, huh? Press these gloves and then wonder why it's looking thin by the end of the fight. Bro, get this out of here. Get this all the way out of the sport. Look at his glove. Start taking the shape, huh? We don't know what you're doing, sir. And what a coincidence, right? What a coincidence that you came out in a costume where your sleeves or your robe are longer than your gloves. We don't know if you slip in something. We don't know what you're doing. You know, that's why there's a reason why the cops tell you put your hands on your head and stuff like that, because they don't know you to trust you. And that's Tyson Fury. We don't know you to trust you. We don't know your behavior to be on the up and up. Now, I will close with that, and I'm going to close with this. Like I said, just from a costume design perspective, it's a really weird fashion statement. Joshua Ringwalk. I know he wore robes. Let's check Joshua to see if it's weird. Okay. Boom. We got action. Look, Joshua, he wore a regular robe and his hands are, open and free, right? That's what I would imagine, especially if you're Tyson Fury with this just listen to what I'm saying, people. Joshua's 6'6", Tyson Fury's 6'9". Joshua is a big man. You would imagine, as a big dude, you would have making millions. You're having your custom made trunks and robe tailored, as is Fury, as is any guy that's making that type of money. But you look at multiple fights, Joshua comes out, his arms are all, always exposed. Look at his walkout. It's such a weird costume design. And now Tyson Fury is being questioned about his gloves being improper. And he's the only person that walked out with a costume where his whole hand and glove is concealed on the walkout. Like, just look at this image, bro. His hand is concealed. That's just a weird. Tell me if this is weird to y'all. And the crazy part about it is Tyson Fury is big, so we know you had your costume tailor made. Why, if you have arms that long, that's just extra. That's like almost like extra fabric for your long ass arms. Well, who designs stuff like that, bro? Like, you have a 85-inch reach, so you just wanted so much material, you wanted to cover everything. Okay, Glovegate 2.0, people. Smash the like button. Let me know what you think and how I did. I know I posed a lot, but I told you I was coming with the heat. We're going to stay on top of this. Share the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.